Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here, and this is weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. As I always tell you, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you've seen around the screen here, and by you coming back and using the site, using the adverts, telling your friends about us, that's what keeps it all free of charge. So thank you for doing that. Got an interesting development just on the ECMWF charts. Got this ridge that builds through the UK by the 20th of November, and when you tie that in with the temperature profile, notice how mild it comes through the course of this week, which is pretty well accepted. But then look, the sharp temperature decrease by the time we get to the end of the forecast period. Only back to where we are just at the moment, but it's just interesting to see the ECMWF developing this high in such a way. Now compare that to the ensemble for the same time. If we just go forward on the ensemble charts here to bring you forward to the 20th, look, sharp contrast. We got low pressure on it. There's the ridge that the ECMWF sees over us, but it's got it over Eastern Europe, and in fact the ensemble puts low pressure up towards the northwest of Scotland. Now, as you know, I've been quite a fan of the ECMWF in recent days, but I've got to say I think on this occasion it probably called it about wrong. I don't think that high is going to be developing in, but even if it doesn't, again, quite interesting to see what the ensemble does with temperatures. Look, it brings them off gradually from about the 18th or 19th. Look, we see this fall off in temperature. Now, again, note that this isn't a cold, wintry outbreak, okay? And all the way through I've been saying that I thought conditions would be cooler this weekend. Not cold, cooler, and that's the way they've turned out. And this is another example of this. Look, we see the temperatures rise through the course of this week, and then they slowly come off by next weekend. So we've got this slow decline in temperature, but it never really get that cold. Look, we've still got 7 degrees. This is London, still got 7 degrees, but it's just interesting to note that it maintains this kind of unsettled feel to things through to the end of the forecast period. So let's just get a bit of detail on there, really, and I think the main feature of the week ahead is again going to be this idea of dry weather affecting many eastern parts of the country. This is the total rainfall through to 6 o'clock on the 18th, so this is through to 6 o'clock on next Sunday morning, and notice how little rainfall we've got across the central and eastern parts of the country here. Yes, there is some, but essentially very dry down here. Most of the rain out towards the west, but it's only really western Scotland excuse me, and the west of Ireland that do stay anywhere what you might call on the wet side. And if we look at Europe as a whole, in terms of the total rainfall that occurs across Europe during this week, you see that we're just in this dry area. Look, it's affecting much of northern France, the Low Countries, northern parts of Germany, Denmark, running into Sweden as well, with the wetter weather reserved for Scotland, for Norway, and also for the south. Look how much rain there is through the Mediterranean during the course of this week. That's over 4 inches of rain falling in some of these areas, and the eastern Med not faring too much better either. So really, these dry conditions that we've got through central and eastern parts of the UK, pretty well the way that much of Europe sees it. So let's have a look at day by day then. This is the chart for 1 o'clock this afternoon. We've got low pressure north of Scotland, still rain affecting East Anglia and the southeast, and really I think it'll be late afternoon before that eventually clears away. We then go into a dry night tonight for many of us. I think clearing skies and probably a frost developing by the morning on Sunday as well under those clear skies. Temperatures 0s to -2s typically. Some showers for northern and western Scotland tomorrow, and they'll continue through the course of the day tomorrow in those areas. I think 1 or 2 showers just getting into the Liverpool Bay area, but generally you can see most places dry, lots of sunshine around. It looks like being a fair old day. And for those of you that like flying, I think we've got a VFR day overall basis of about 4,000 to 5,000 feet in good visibility. Winds generally west-northwesterlies, blowing at around about a force 4. For those of you who like it in knots, that's around about the 12 to 14 knot mark, having picked up from light base. And those of you sailing, well, again, looks like being fine west-northwesterlies, typically around a 3 or a 4 through the channel. I think 4s down these eastern coasts, 4s up western coast too, and generally good visibility. So an ideal day for playing around in boats or aircraft. Overnight tomorrow night, we've got a ridge of high pressure that builds through again. I think that brings some clearer skies and a touch of frost, this time to eastern parts of the country. Further west, though, I think cloud increasing, and that will tend to prevent the frost forming here. And then through Monday morning, so we find rain reaching western Scotland, western parts of Wales as well during Monday morning. Dry and bright towards the east, but that cloud and outbreaks of rain spreading eastwards through the day on Monday, I think bringing a wet day through much of Scotland, Northern Ireland. Northern England probably going into low cloud and drizzle, as will western parts of Wales and southwest England. But many inland parts of England and Wales, although basically clouding up and going into perhaps some low cloud at times with some drizzle on the hills, generally look as if they will be dry and with some bright spells. And then as we go through towards Tuesday, overnight into Tuesday, we get the southwest wing. I think lots of low cloud around, some drizzle for the west and for the south. Some clearer spells further east, but more persistent rain coming into Western Ireland and western parts of Scotland. Then through Tuesday itself, the rain just kind of lingers around across southwest Scotland and Ireland. But elsewhere, I think some bright spells developing through central and eastern parts of the country. Low cloud affecting West Wales and southern parts of England once again. But mild really is the story of things across many parts of the UK. Wednesday brings a similar day. Look, we've still got a ridge of high pressure persisting in the south, so I think there might be some morning mist and fog patches, but they'll clear away, and then the day looks as if it should be dry, bright, plenty of sunshine. Again, though, these western coasts just trouble with a little bit of low cloud, but as the winds change direction, the source tends to come more off the dry continent. I think so we'll find much of that cloud dispersing. Rain still for western Scotland and western parts of Ireland. And then for Thursday, we'll still high pressure around, so I still think it's a fair day through Thursday. Some mist and some fog patches too in the morning on Thursday. Could be some cloud across Scotland, Northern Ireland with bits of drizzle here. Again, bits of low cloud possibly affecting western coast of Wales, but for many, I think becoming drier and brighter through the day. And then into Friday, well, hints of a change taking place with the front managing to get eastwards on Friday. I think this bringing a change in conditions with rain affecting many western areas. The east should be staying drier and brighter though, but that rain spreads east through Saturday. We then find a drier, brighter day on Saturday, although cloud and rain affecting western and southern areas and fairly mild too. But just look at this area of low pressure that the ensemble tries to bring in through late Saturday into Sunday. Deep area low pressure bringing some heavy outbreaks of rain to western parts of Scotland and much of Ireland, as well as strong winds, but staying generally dry across many parts of eastern and southern England. Now, as I said, the problem here is that the ECMWF, which was the chart that we looked at first of all, goes for completely the opposite story with building in high pressure. Well, let's get to the same date. Look. See, it builds in this high pressure out towards the west during this time, whereas the ensemble goes for something completely different, bringing the low pressure in. Now, what typically happens when you get this kind of disagreement between the models is this shows us a change in pattern taking place. So we need to just keep our eye on this spell for the end of the week to see what happens. I still favour this idea, though, of a gradual decrease in temperature as we go through the end of the month. So, thanks again for watching. Reminder that the sites get free of charge by the adverts around the screen. It's by you coming back and visiting the site, telling your friends about the site. That's what keeps it free of charge. So, thanks again for watching. Keep the sun shining. Bye.